Hi there, I'm Michael Brust. This is going to be kind of an unconventional video because this is kind of an unconventional class. So what I do, this is my B1 period right here. We've got 32 students in this class. They are in Algebra, Algebra 2, we have a Math Analysis, an Algebra Lab, an Algebra 2 Lab all together. So they're all working on their own thing. I thought I'd spend some time talking to the camera a little bit, explaining what each and every person is doing. So we may walk around a little bit and check it out. Let's come over here. Perfect. Alyssa, we're going to start with you. So the whole idea is they start with a video and a packet. So Alyssa's watching the video right now on 10.5, and then you can see she's got her shelled notes. So we write out part of the notes, the graphs, and all that fun stuff for them, and then she can focus just on the video. So she's doing the first part, the video part, which is awesome. Then after that is practice. Let me see who's on practice. Colton, are you doing practice?
I am. Yeah.
Perfect. Colton is on the practice part. So after he's watched the video, he understands it. He can move on to the practice. This is like the traditional homework, and he's actually got the answer key up on his screen so he can check his work as he goes. So you can see kind of his practice problems, and then he grades them. So the idea is if he gets stuck, he can come get help from me or James, if James can help him out.
No, not quite.
Definitely they can help each other out, or they can come up to me. So that's the second part, is the practice. Then everybody's favorite part is anybody on application over here. Gabs is on application. And I see a lot of arrows. That's pretty awesome. So this is the start where they extend their knowledge and apply it a little bit to a real-world situation, or making mathematical connections. So she's got factoring. So you can see she's got a table and a graph. Ooh, getting into roots. That's some good stuff. So this part's hard. This is what I like them to do in class or with their friends. The other stuff is you can kind of do at home or without me as much. So that's a real quick synopsis. That's all in one packet. Then we're going to come over here once they have their whole packet done. A little slow, we'll fire it up. This is the mastery check area, and this is the whole reason I switched to this method, is because this is where all the learning happens. So all these people over here are either taking a test, a summative test for the unit, or they're taking a formative assessment for the section they're working on. So Joey's got 10.3 going on here in Algebra 2. So you can check out his mastery check. So the key to this is they have to get an 80% or higher to move on. So if they get 4 out of 5, they can move on to the next section, and then they keep going, and they can get, so they'll get all spread out. So this class is, that's the master check. And I give, the best part of this, is I give the feedback instantly. So if they have an issue with how to factor, how to graph, how to do whatever, I'm instantly going to correct it. If they don't pass, they do more practice until they do get it. So this is by far, are you ready, Nathan?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect timing. Come on. Thought I talked long enough. All right. Very good. This is good handwriting for you too, Nick. I'm impressed. Nice job. He got them all. So he's good to go.
Want to pop another
And
one?
he actually has another one. This is pretty great. It's like you were videotaping today, Nathan. Oh, I need to see this graph though.
Which one?
So sorry, I'm moving around. So in the application, this algebra Vitessin, which cracks me up every time I say that. Did you laugh? Did you
Okay. I
laugh
thought
at
we
this?
just had to fill that. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I thought we just had to fill that in.
No,
I'll
because-
run that through a calculator real fast.
Yeah, that's approximate, but I want to see where it actually crosses. So if you pull out a calculator, I can help you look at that. All right. So usually I spend time walking around, or students will come up to my desk, ask questions. Hopefully they're not too shy, it's too early or too camera, but or we'll walk around and see if anybody has any questions, so you can kind of get an idea of what's happening. All right, here we go. Things that ready. Yeah, but I gotta have a packet.
We already did it yesterday, the other day, and you said I didn't get like 2 questions.
Oh,
already,
then you need to get
I've
a
been
So
reviewing.
Killian's new to the class. He just joined us from traditional. Yeah, then I need your corrective. Let me print you a fresh one, and I want you to practice, make sure it's good before we take the next one. Yes. I'll put it right now.
I'm confused, like I don't know what number would be equal to -14. Like multiplied it by 14.
So then, what I do is like I list everything that gives you 14. So what really, this is a good one, because what's the only thing that really multiplies to 14? 2 and 7, so it's got to be 2 and 7. It's just a matter of what is your sign. It could be 1 and 14, but that would be different. Awesome. What is this? What section is this?
It's 10.3.
10.3. So, yeah, this is a good time. Let me show them the website real quick. So he was looking at the. Oh, you're on the YouTube part, huh?
Yeah.
So sometimes they play faster on YouTube. But here's our website. So everything they need is right here. So you can see 10.3. We've got the standards. the video, the packet, so if they're at home or lose theirs, they can print it. The solutions like Colton was looking at. And then this is what Killian needs, the corrective assignment. Also, the video is downloadable if they want to put in like an iPod or something. And then we have the application walkthrough. This helps them with those harder word problems and connections. So if they didn't pass the master check, they can click on this, and I'm just going to print it for you. I usually print it for them because I can do double-sided, but we're going to print here. And these don't have work solutions, they just have the answer. So at this point, I want to help them so they pass the mastery check. And I want to see their work. So this one I like to check. I didn't hear that print though. Did you hear that print? It's so quiet. Oh, I said it's the wrong spot. Let's change this real quick. I sent the OneNote. That's not good. All right. There we go. Excellent. So do the odds on that, and just make sure you're good to go. I think it was this style. Wasn't it one section that was giving you a hard time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would focus on those, and maybe just try those for a quick refresh of the odds of these, but maybe all 4 of those will be in. If you get them right, then we'll be good to go.
Yep.
Awesome. Gabs, I know you had a question on that. You wanna?
Is that right?
So I always double check it. Like if I multiply this out, if I go 2x times 2x, that's going to give me 4x. It's not going to give me that. So you have to be careful.
So just 2x.
This is the one, because there's that leading coefficient, their number in front here. This is when you say, oh man, everything is 2 times too big. And then you got to come back up here and say, okay, can I take anything out of this? And can I take anything out of this? So like the first one, does anything divide 2 and 5? Does anything come out friendly from that?
No.
No. But how about this? Does anything divide that? What comes out of there?
2.
2, and then what's left? If I take the 2 out,
And it's just x minus 6.
perfect. And then now we know we're good to go, because what's going to happen?
Cancel out.
Perfect. So yeah. And then that, if you check it, if you multiply it out, it should work out. Awesome. And that's what the master check's going to be like. That right there. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Nathan, are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I'll come right back.
It did have a vertical asymptote because the graph went like this and it crossed the point of origin.
Yes.
And
Good
it
call.
tapped here and here, but this is negative. So it's this one, which is 4.
That's awesome. So that is the maximum.
And then like loops back down.
Yes, but now what's the question asking for? It doesn't want to know. That would be the
Oh no,
maximum.
that was just the graphing one, Mr. Brust.
Ah, okay.
I didn't have space there.
So this is, I want to say, okay, so this is the amount of Robitussin in your body. So he can't drive if he's got over 3, whatever, I don't know what the units is, milligrams?
Milligrams.
In his bloodstream. So like, this is a good graph. It's going up and it's coming down. So
Yeah.
as he drinks it, it goes up, and eventually he's going to process out of the system. So
Yeah.
I want to know, anything above 3, he can't drive a car.
After 4 hours, he can drive it.
That's good, but that may only be, that's only 1 point though. If that's 4, but there's this point here. So like, he's clear after 4 hours, but he's clear until the medicine kicks in or something. You should get 2 points of intersection. You ready? Alright, so then usually what I do is I just double check their packet real quick, make sure everything's on the up and up. And this is good except for number 9. Will you double check that one?
Okay.
So I make sure packets are good.
I traced it. It's 1.5 hours. Before 1.5 hours and after 4.
Perfect. Very, very good. Work. So I mainly, they can.
Also, you quilt very slowly if you didn't know.
I love those Mr. Kelly quilting problems. They make me laugh anyway. So the notes, whatever, they have that for sure. And the practice, they grade those. I kind of spot check them. And then the application is what I check to make sure it's legit. And I keep this one, and then I give them the master check.
And that's 4 in a day.
Nathan is algebra 2. Wait, I gave you, that's not 10-4, is it?
That was 10-4.
10-4, all right.
And I went from 10-1 to 4 in a day.
10-4. So this is Jalen's mastery check. She's factoring, a double factor, pulling out maybe a greatest common factor, factoring trinomials. So this looks great, but you got to go one step farther. So like this is, it's not factored completely. Like yes, that's right, and that's right, but you're not done. So you got to factor twice. You can look at that again if you can factor twice. If not, you got to go straight to the corrective. Like it's like you factored, but not completely. That's one thing you can do, but there's more. This is a tricky one.
How'd you get number 12?
Or you got to go corrective. That's all I can give you on that, though. Number 9, did that work out? So if you double check, All right, looks good. Looks good, 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 good. So that's for you. 10.4. Ashley, I'm coming up right now. All right. Number 4. Oh, this one's tricky. So this is what? What is this answer? I think these are related somehow. So this is the decibels of, what is this?
It's the decibels of how loud the classroom is.
Okay, so we got, if kids are talking, that's how loud a classroom is. So now he's comparing it to the traffic in New York City. So use the graphing. Oh, you have to graph it. Oh, you're way ahead of me. So you got plugged in. This looks great.
Yeah.
You're just having a hard time finding where they cross?
Yeah.
All right, what is your window? What are you looking at here? All right, so that's the key to this, because
Yeah.
you know, a log graph is going to look like this. You've got that constant, and we're looking for where do they cross. So these are tricky because of X is really I, the intensity, and it's hard for this because like, what is intensity? Like, what kind of numbers? So I look back at this problem. This was an intensity. What type is this number? Big or small?
Small.
Small. So we need a very small. Thank you, Nathan. We got to get a very small window for the X's. So like your graph is hard to tell. I can see your constant,
Yeah.
but I don't see your log at all. So I think you have to get a super tiny X. Like this is like 0.00014. So I think you got to go like something 0.000. You got to keep trying. Really, really small numbers. The Y is fine.
And I have a question on number 5.
Yeah.
To
And then you're going to need this answer to get this one, because we're going to compare how much louder is New York City to a classroom with 6 groups.
When you have a moment, Miss Smith would like a call.
Miss Smith, all
The
right.
guidance counselor, not the drama teacher.
Okay, thanks for clearing that. That's good. Yeah. Very nice. If that doesn't work, let me know, but try really, really small windows.
I put this in, and then if I graph it, it won't show up at all. And I
Alright.
graphed it on another one, it just showed up, but it's just really bad.
Can I give you a shout out real quick, Shelly? So Shelly's ahead of the pace. Our pace for today is we're just wrapping up Unit 10, and she's wrapping up Unit 12, so she's about done, which is awesome. So there's people ahead, there's people behind, there's people right on track, all spread out through really the whole year in here. Sorry, I just want to give you quick props. What was your question? I wasn't listening. No, sorry. You got the graph. You got the.
Yeah, I put it in, and
Yeah.
then if I graph it, it won't even show up.
Did you hit? Can you go back to your Y equals? Did you hit zoom standard?
Nope.
Oh man, yeah. So your window's
I
all
didn't do that.
great. Yeah, somebody whoever's using last had a crazy window.
I'm gonna go ahead
Probably
and
Ashley.
calculate.
Just hit zoom standard, and it's going to reset you back to that normal viewing window, and then it should hopefully show up in
Yeah,
there.
and it just shows that, but I can't do anything with that.
Ah, so
It's
you're
not
gonna
the
have to
actual line.
change it. Which one is this? So yeah, so this is good. Notice the scale on this graph changed. It's kind of not printed very well, but it's kind of by 5s. It looks like here. So like you'd have to change your window to match this. Like this is from I'm having a hard time reading that.
If it's 5 minutes, then
Okay, so from -20 to 20, and from there, and then hopefully you're expanded. You're like zooming out, and then you can see it, or just plot the points on there. That's good. Very nice. We're stuck over here in the corner. Max, are you ready for something? Yeah. Put it up in the corner there, nice. You ready for testing? So reviews, all the answers are posted, so Max is graded on review. I gotta print yours, I'm out in that one. Alright, so it may take me a second, I gotta log on to Google here. Kayla, you wanna bring your question up here while I wait to print this, do you mind?
no.
Connor, will you help Tony with that one? Can you got a question? Yeah. Can Connor help you until I get there? Alright. Don't mind. Alright. Let me log on. So we'll take that. Factoring, how's it going? Lots of colors, that's always good, that looks nice.
Okay, so that's number 10,
Uh-huh.
and that's what I got for my final answer.
Okay.
According to your answers, that's supposed to be 12, plus 12.
Oh man.
But I don't get how you got,
So,
because you have to find the greatest common factor,
okay.
and then you have to do A times C, and B equals, and so you do 5 times 12.
So you start by taking a -3 out?
Mm-hmm.
So you
You
took,
have to find which is right there,
perfect, so you took the -3 out,
and then you divide them by it, and that gives you
and that looks
-12.
great, and then you
And then-
said 20 and 3 are your,
because don't you have to do the A times
This looks
C?
great.
So A times C will give you negative 60 and 17, and then the two numbers would be 20 and negative 3.
Yes.
And then you have to continue to
This is
factor
fantastic.
it out, but then so your final
Yeah.
answer should be negative
This
3.
is Mr. Sullivan's fault. So we're gonna blame Mr. Sullivan. Chapter 10. I would never ever make a mistake on any of my answer keys.
Also, there's another problem
All right.
on the.
He just changed this section, and you found his first typo.
Actually, I found 2 typos.
Oh,
'Cause I found one on
Mr. Sullivan,
10.6.
I'm gonna send him a copy of this video. That is your answer's great. That is a nice problem. Is it on the same thing?
Yeah, because
What else? Oh, that's on the.
he took 28 on the answer key.
Uh-huh.
He has 28 taken out of all of 3 of them, and you can't take 28 out of 192 or 144.
Oh my goodness,
And
that's
the
a.
greatest common factor would be 4, and so that's what me and
Okay, I got this one. He's got to fix. I got to email that to him.
because he took 28, and you can't take 28 out of negative 192 or
my
negative 144.
Goodness. Do you want to send the email? You want to talk a little junk?
I should.
What section? This is 10.6.
Yes.
So if this doesn't go well, I would blame Mr. Sullivan. 10.6, number 9.
Well, I already passed master checks. So we're good.
Oh, thanks for bringing. Thanks for coming up. Yeah, we'll fix that. Thank you. Yeah, he changed 10.5, 10.6 for this new factoring method, which I like. Apparently, he's having some issues on it. Are you ready for the mastery check?
Yes, sir.
This is a nice graph, but you got to factor this. And this is a great problem. So when we factor this, it's going to relate to your graph. So go ahead and solve this, like set it equal to 0, factor and solve it, and then we're going to see how that relates to the graph.
Mr. Brust, how do you go?
It's coming. I'm still logging in, Max. Sorry.
I was for you.
You know what? Hey, will you do me a favor, Max? Will you run over Mr. Bean, see if he's got 10 already printed? So you don't have to wait for me to log in. You can just get going. Tell him I owe him big time. Alright. 10.4. Oh, you did too much on these. You don't have to do all that. So like this whole thing of 4 when you're taking the 4 out, like, yes, that's because the leading coefficient is 4. When there's a 1 here, it's just like saying you're dividing by 1, which doesn't really matter. So I don't even do that. Usually we get to the point we don't even do that step. So like I just look at it and say what multiplies the negative 45 adds to negative 4. The x. Yeah. And I use the x method. I think he kind of switched over, but what multiplies that, you got to think of the 2 numbers. So for these, you just try to do too much. And then here, this is when you do the divide by 4. But we got to practice this. I don't think you're getting the right numbers that multiply. Let's try this next.
That one?
What I do is I say what multiplies the negative 45
That one's negative.
and adds to negative 4. So then you go through and look at all those things. Do you want to try that? Or do you want to try it on a corrective? Let's do Let's do it on a corrective. Yeah, we're gonna do it. I'll print it for you. Bring it up here. I want to show you some more of those.
Is it this pink one, Max?
That's it. 4 or 5.
4?
4. Yeah. This is nice. This is a really good one. This factoring stuff, we're gonna use this a lot for a long time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Says algebra 2 people.
You can't do anything.
You cannot get away from factoring.
It's great. I love it.
All right.
Factoring trinomials. Nothing in the universe.
Nathan, holy cow.
I decided to circle answers.
Be careful with this. Is this your grades?
Yeah, you need to sign there to say I've done them.
I was gonna say, what's the motivation here? It's good to see you up here. All right, so this one is right, but it's wrong
How's it wrong?
because it's extraneous solution.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, -3, +3.
Yeah, you can't put that in there.
Nope.
And then I'm not feeling the love on this one.
Negative.
I gotta double check it because I don't have that one memorized, but
Negative 18.
it doesn't feel like one
I
that I
don't see a
remember.
green pencil up here.
No.
I have one you can borrow, Max, if you want. You gotta sharpen it though.
Never mind.
No. Too much work to sharpen it.
Yeah.
All right. What is this? 10-4. Oh,
simplify it
touche!
down.
If you reduced it, all right. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
You said we did have to reduce like several times in the
My
video.
memory's getting old on this. Yeah, you're good to go.
Oh yeah.
Well played. Are you taking the test today as well?
I have to do the review still.
Okay. Does anybody here mastery checks?
I'm trying to get a master's check.
Are you good? That make all that all
Made sense, yeah.
Right, okay. Let's give it another shot.
Can I actually have one of those pencils? Because I'll take one.
Will you sharpen it?
Yeah.
Sorry to make you do all that work.
No,
It's on the
it's
fridge over there.
It's a lot of work, but I can manage.
So Kelly's on round 2 of this one. He took the last one last class, and now he's taking it again. This one's gonna go well. All right. So this looks nice. So the factor, take out 2m. Perfect. This one seems off. This one has some issues. This one looks great. Oh, Jalen, you're so close.
I don't understand that one.
Yeah, so you got 2 here that kind of have some issues. The rest are good. So this is a tough master check. It's gonna take a little time. So the key is you got to take something out to start with. You went to just try to factor it, and the numbers are so big. The key is I would take the smallest number. Does the smallest number divide these? So 4 does. So you got to pull that 4 out. And we don't like that lead term to be negative. So take out a -4. So once you do that, man, it is a much easier problem. Like take out your -4, and then take out your -4. What is that? I'm having a hard time. There you go. And see how much easier it is now? The fact that now it's just boom, boom, you're done. So you got to start with that. I think the same. You took out 3a here. You just didn't finish it. Man. Oh, you know why? Check it out. You're out of order.
Oh, okay.
You know how it goes like x squared x number? You're a squared number a, man. So if it's a squared minus 5a plus 24, now you're in the right order. So it's got to be in that standard form. Yeah, we have practice a few more. Definitely only do the odds because this application is long. You have to print that off the website because that says new 10-6. I don't have
Okay, I'm ready to
thing for it.
I need, there were 2 things on the application I didn't quite get. So
Sweet. This is that same decibel problem. Did you try graphing it? He wants you to graph it.
Maybe I did. Okay, I'll go back and
Yeah, so
graph
he's
it.
looking for the point of intersection of, it's the same equation
So
you used for
point-
this one,
Okay, so
except you're solving for I this time.
okay,
Do you have the intensity formula and decibel formula?
I don't know. This was last week.
It's like log of blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So set that up, and then we're gonna say, when does the log?
70. You just put
Yeah.
70.
But talk with Ashley, because she's on it right now. Ashley, did you ever find that window?
Yeah.
You did? I would talk to her, because that window is crazy, because your variable is so small. Oh, test? Sweet. All right. So Jillian's done with chapter 9, so she's taking the whole summative assessment on chapter 9. And then on our summative assessment, at the end, we do have these applications. So master checks are very procedural. Do you got the skill necessary? But on the test, now you've got to apply it as well. So good luck, Jillian. We're all counting on you. Happy birthday. Holy cow. Pretty exciting.
I'm gonna pass it on the first try.
That
Because of my birthday
would be
month.
the best birthday present ever. 10.1. Good luck. I hope that goes well. Okay, good. We need to do some of these. So let's start with, I want to start with ones where the number in front is just 1. So let's try this X idea. I think it helps like organize my thoughts and stuff. So yes, we fill that in. And now what multiplies to 15 and adds to 8? So if you don't know, I list them all the things that give you 15. What multiplies to 15?
1, 15,
Yes.
5.
Excellent. Now do either of those add or subtract to 8? Wait, they have to. One of these has to, because that's it. So if you add them or subtract them, like 1 plus 15.
Adding, yeah, 5.
Yeah, there you go. So now we have to be careful with the signs because this is a positive. They're either both.
Would it be negative 5?
Mm-hmm. But now be careful. If you did negative times a positive, that would be negative 15.
So they both have to be?
Yes, because a negative times a negative is positive, and then negative 5 and negative 3 is negative 8. Awesome. So now how are you going to write that? So I go straight to just the parentheses now, like get the parentheses going on.
B minus 5.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
B.
Perfect. And that's it. And if you want to check it, you can multiply that out and see that it double distribute and see that it equals that. Do a couple more. See if you can do 2, 3, and 4. This is all with the leading coefficient 1. Then we're going to get the tougher ones. Some ones with different coefficients in there. Awesome. Did you print this one off the website? I printed that one?
Yeah.
Ooh, we print the one off the website. I got the old one, and my Dropbox doesn't update. So, will you print? That's fine. Keep this one. You got one done. You don't have to do another one. It's the same style, but he puts more of those leading coefficients in there. You can print off the one next to the printer,
Okay.
and that'll be faster.
Good question.
What's up?
So number 3,
Mm-hmm.
all I know is it equals 45.
Excellent. So now, so it goes back to number 2.
Okay.
This is the generic equation for the area of that rectangle.
So you're just gonna put this and then equals 45 and then
Perfect.
solve for it?
Perfect, that's
Okay.
it. That's it, man, that's good. That is really good. Lidwell.
How come when I put the equation and
Mhm.
calculator, it makes up like a big parabola, but when I try to graph it myself, it's all over
Yes.
the graph.
So check out this. Your window on here is different than your window on here.
Ah.
So he's only going from -6 to 6. So you have to be careful. Like, you see right there? Like, it comes up a little bit.
I
It's
gotcha.
because you're so zoomed out. But if you go to your window, and if you change it to like go from -6 to 6 and -6 to 6, then you can see it a little better.
All right.
But you're right. What you're doing here is
Oh,
right.
am I? Okay.
It's just so zoomed out, it looks like a parabola. It's really not. It's
Thank you.
a fourth power.
Did
Shelley.
I just say no solutions? 'Cause it never-
Well played. Well played. All right. Oh, this is a good one. I'm glad you're up here, Ashton. This is great. So she's on the application, and they were doing the factoring, and then she had to graph a cubic. So they never graphed cubics before, and she factored it, which looks fantastic, except you didn't solve it. So you, sorry. So you got to solve it. We need those numbers. What's that? Did that work?
Do you have to get 45 on this side?
Yes.
Okay.
Always got to set equal to 0.
Then I'm good.
Start with those 3, and when those 3 are good, then I'm show you the next step. So -3, 1, and don't forget about this guy out here. He makes a 0
Okay.
because they're all 3. You know, like
Oh, right,
-3, 1, and
Yep.
he makes 0. So if you look at it, that's what happens on your graph.
Okay.
Those numbers. What's cool about 1, -3, and 0?
They get plotted. Don't understand.
I think one of your numbers is off. This one. You gotta double check this. Your table. Yeah, this is really good. This half, the positive half seems good, but your negative is off.
Okay.
And it's gonna mess up this answer. You gotta see that. Look at that table, the negatives. Make sure you put them in parentheses if you're using the calculator. All right. Boom. Boom. So that's an answer b equals 0. This looks way better, man. All right, you got the right answer. Your factoring looks a little weird here, though. So you're good. Just be careful, like... All right, so you got this and this. Yeah, I think this threw you up because see how this equals 0? It's got to equal 0, so you got to add 12 into both sides.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
So now when you're here, now you can do your normal factoring like you did on the rest of it.
All right.
You pull out the 3n, and that's why. You got the right answer. But that could have been like guessing and checking or something.
Something else, yeah.
Yeah, or lucked out. Your work just doesn't support it, but I want that factoring step.
It's still right there, right?
Yep, you got 4 out of 5. So, oh, you forgot your name, so that's -2. Sorry, man. No, I'm just kidding. All right, you can move on to the next one.
All right.
Okay, with this one.
10. So this is not like the other ones. He threw this in here just to kind of keep it real a little bit. What is the biggest number that divides both of these? So you're not going to do, it's not like these trinomials where you're doing these double parentheses. You're saying what's the greatest common factor? What's the biggest number that divides them both? Like I think undistributed.
So would it be negative?
Yeah, I usually pull that negative out. We don't like that lead term to be negative. And then are there any variables you can pull out? So can I pull out any of those x's? Keep going on that. We help Amber. I know it's here real quick. All right. Ah, yes, yes. This is exciting. So these two, those are the two. 2 and 3.
Okay.
All right. Good. And then yeah. So when it's just 2 terms, you're just undistributing, versus 3 terms when you're doing that like unfoiling. Yep. So those are. You just want to make sure that you remember the old stuff. A little review. Oh, speaking of review, I'm gonna show something on your packet actually. Did that work out? That crazy thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Very nice.
I wonder what to do with this, because this was all they gave
How
us.
many joules does an earthquake release? So now you want to say when it what? Same thing, you're using this equation from over here, but you want to say when it equals 0. So I think you're going to have to graph it again, see when it equals 0. So again, these windows are intense because like, you're not real familiar with joules or decibels or whatever, it's tough. Oh, perfect, perfect.
It's not work out.
You didn't work out. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so he had h equals 6 or -12.
Yes.
That's what I got the first time, but then he has 3x.
Oh, no. Miss Sullivan's actually right here. And you're right too. H is 6, but it's asking for the dimensions of the rectangle. So you got to plug them back in. Like H is 6, but that side is not 6. That side is H minus 3.
Okay.
So when you put 6 in, that side is 3 long. Like 6 minus 3 gives you the 3. Like you found H, but I want to know. This is H minus 3. And this is H plus 9. So H is 6. Because now you got to plug it in there. Tell me how long is this side then? Does that make sense? I feel like
Okay, that makes more sense.
is that okay? Or are you just faking it?
No, that
That's
actually
for
makes sense. Then what do you do with the negative 12?
Exactly. So why did he cross off negative 12? Why can't you put negative 12 in there?
Because it's negative? I don't know.
Yeah, and it's okay that this part's negative,
Okay.
but what happens when I put negative 12? Like H's can be whatever I want. It can be negative or negative, I don't care. But when you put it in your square, what happens if I put negative 12 in here? What do you get?
Positive?
Wait, negative 12 minus 3 more?
No. Oh, this pressure confusing me
Ooh,
now.
high pressure. What is negative 12 minus 3?
Negative
And there's a
12.
video camera on right over there.
Okay, then hold up. 12, 13, 14, 15. Negative 15.
Excellent. So could this side of the rectangle be negative 15?
No.
No. So that's why he said this is an impossible answer. So H is allowed to be negative, but if H makes the side of the square negative, a rectangle, that's a
So
no-go.
say this is on the test. You
Yes.
have to plug it in.
Yes, because he wants the dimensions of the rectangle.
So does
What
he
is that?
want? Do you want both this and that?
If you want full credit, yes. Like this is partial credit. Like I'm glad you solved it, but you haven't answered the question. He wants the dimensions, so you gotta do that. That's the next step.
Okay.
Boom.
Thank you.
If it's on there.
We have like 9 minutes. We're gonna walk around and talk again. We have like 9 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That'd be great.
I get it now. Because the 0 plot on the graph and so does the positive 1 and the negative 3.
Yes. So that's where it crosses the x-axis. Isn't that cool? Yes. That's like I wanted that on film, like your magical moment. You solved it, and that's where it crosses the x-axis. The x-axis with the roots. I can tell your enthusiasm.
I just want to get it over with. I'm worried.
All right. This is 10.6.
Yep.
Good luck. Yeah, let me help you real quick. I'm gonna walk around the gaps and see where we are. So you're out of order again. You have to put them in from the degree, the highest power first, the next highest power, the next highest power. I mean, you can do that, but it's gonna, I think, freak you out. At some point, you got to get it in order. So put that in order. Did you get those 3? And did they work? Did you grade them?
Yeah.
Perfect. So now let's up the ante here. Let's go with this one. Let's start here. So now what's the difference here is we got this number in front. So what are we going to do? You have to do this AC method. You have to do this. You have to times the last times the first. So negative 4 times 4 gives you, we're looking at what multiplies negative 16. Now look at your middle number is negative 15. Can you come up with those? Take a second, come up with those. Dennis, I'm coming at you. It's game time. I'll be right back. All right. How we doing out here? I may grab somebody's packet. Oh, Rosanna's in math analysis. Math analysis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the whole idea started with multi-age, multi-level was seamless transition between classes. So if you finished algebra, you didn't have to wait till the end of the year. You could start geometry. You finish that. So some people, a couple students in here who actually did 3 courses in 2 years, and then the other end of that, if it takes you 3 years to do 2 courses, maybe that happens. But now with 4 years of credits, it's kind of messed up. You need 4 years to graduate, so you can't get behind. So now we're really making sure people are getting through all the material. Kelly, you start the next one. Get it going. We got plenty of time. Roy, how we doing? Where are you at?
On the 10-6 practice.
10-6. Is it okay? This is a tough one, man.
No, it's pretty easy.
You got it? All right. Let's see. Oh. Are we out? You can grab one from up there too, can you? All right, so now the next level. Good, so you got the factors of that, of 16. So now, like we did this, we went straight to parentheses. The only difference here is, though, we have to bring this number in both of them, this 4. So it would be 4n plus your 1, and 4n minus your 16. So now the problem is that doesn't work. That's not the right answer, because if I multiply it, 4n times 4n is 16n squared. So this is when we say, oh, it's 4 times too big. We made it 4 times too big. So now this is where we get to do your simplifying.
So it'd be 1 minus 4.
Yes. And then they cancel. And then you know you're right. Dude, that's awesome, Gabs. If you got that, you're good to go. Try 3 more of these, 7, 8, and 9, whatever those. If you get those right, come take it again. I think you're good to go. Can I borrow this, Dennis? He's in a perfect spot. Yeah. So Dennis is 9.3. So we build in, I don't know if you can see this, a little quick spiral review all the way through. So like, even though we're done with graphing, we're always going to graph. So it keeps it fresh. And this is solving system equations. And then we also do a coming up. So like, good, the next section for Dennis is going to be factoring. So I'm doing this little X to get them ready for what multiplies to that. Also, the application, the first two are just like the practice. That way I know if they just kind of were tempted to copy the practice, they can't do 1 and 2. That's like my little catch, my little trick. I don't know if you knew that. Oh yeah. But we don't have that problem. Copy's not really an issue because then they don't pass mastery checks. So after the first week, we don't really have that issue at all. Everybody good over here? Let's go to James. Kyle, you got one too? We'll go to James.
I don't know.
Oh, you gotta fill in that table.
Yeah. Like, so.
Yes, and be careful when you square it, the negative. Make sure you put in parentheses. Yeah, so you got to plug and chug in the graph over here. It's worth it though. This is a really good one. It's really exciting.
I graphed.
Oh,
Found
nice
the
job.
intersection. Is that
Yeah.
the sound intensity right there? Right here.
Yep, that looks great,
And then
man.
I just use that.
Tim, compare it to the other one. Perfect. Yep. Well played. Well played. All right. I'll come back over and what's up?
It says you have to write an equation for the situation.
Yes.
And that's what I have.
Okay.
But it says 80 feet in the air. Would that actually be the height, or would that be? So this will always. I'm so confused.
This is really tricky. So H is height and S is also height. You got
Exactly. So
two heights.
which one would the 80 go in?
Exactly. That help you out right there?
Yeah, but which one would the 80 go
So-
in?
H is the initial height, it's your starting height, where you start at. S is the height of the object over time, so it's a function of time. So the height of the object over time is S.
Okay, so you don't put anything in there.
Exactly.
So that would be 0.
If you want to know when it hits the ground, that means the object is at ground 0.
Exactly. How long will it take to hit the ground?
Oh, well played. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see that?
I didn't read that far ahead.
Yeah,
Didn't read that.
isn't
Sorry,
that
my bad.
awesome?
My bad.
Okay, so that will always equal 0.
When it hits the ground.
Okay.
In the next chapter, we're going to find the maximum height, or like after 3 seconds, where it doesn't like that.
I barely got past this,
You
Mr.
got,
Brust.
yeah, right. You're killing it. All right. Let's do this.
And then you do an X, negative 21 on the bottom, and then you get 8, negative 3, A plus 8, A minus 3, and then you set them up.
All right, that
both
looks
equal to 0.
good. Nathan, thank you
Do I have time for a test?
for that. I will give you half of it now and half in seminar.
Okay.
Is this chapter 10 test? Will you go borrow from Mr. Bean? I'm all fresh out. Tell him I owe him big time.
Mr. Brust,
Yeah.
if you were asking for me to factor it, will I get points off if I solve it?
Yes. If there's no equal sign, don't put an equal sign in there. And like Nathan just helping right there, that's awesome. Like I know when I start, a lot of fears are like, with teachers switching over, like, okay, where's the group work? Where's the collaboration stuff? And, nothing is forced in here. It's all like if they help each other, it's legit. Like, and they're helping each other through it and they're working together on it. So I know it's a little bit quiet because of the camera and it's early in the morning, but usually like they help each other. It's like a team effort, and it's actually been more positive than when I was traditional doing, canned lessons of these investigations that I was leading them through and doing all these things and forcing them to do it. Now it's real and authentic, and it's funny, all the things that some people are scared of when flipping over, flipping flip mastery, actually it's better. The rapport with students, I know so much more about their ability, how they work and everything. So all those, we get this a lot from teachers around the world, what's going on. It's actually better. It's kind of counterintuitive. Awesome. All right, I think that's probably about the time. Thank you for this, and I guess that's it. Peace out.